They can't get it right. Despite all these supposed creative minds, wrestling just can't get it right. Look, one of the reasons why wrestling is in the shape it's in is due to the lack of new stars. One of the reasons for the lack of new stars is the lack of individuality. And one of the reasons for the lack of individuality is promotions not letting wrestlers shine on their own. And one of the ways promotions don't let wrestlers shine on their own is by bunching them up wholesale into these big groups. Like, remember after the WWE brand split, when they made all the Raw guys wear red shirts and all the SmackDown guys wear blue shirts, and they'd be rumbling in the ring, red versus blue? No individuality, no characters, just a bunch of nameless bodies. Two colors fighting each other. 4 brain-dead fans by lazy writers at the expense of valuable individual character growth. At this past Destination X, when Brian Kendrick was about to get his ass kicked by Scott Steiner and Bubba Ray, you see all the X Division guys running down to the ring together. Baby faces and heels mixed together for no other reason except being in the same division. You see Austin Aries standing next to Shark Boy, standing next to Douglas Williams. But at that point, they're just a bunch of nameless bodies, a bunch of nobodies bunched together. Now, you might say, oh, well, they were just protecting the X Division title. That's pathetic, alright? Can you imagine if the Intercontinental title was threatened, having Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, Razor Ramon, Rick Rude, and the Ultimate Warrior all run down mixed together? No! Because they're all each individual huge stars all on their own. You got Razor Ramon over here with all his individuality and all his charisma. And then you got Mr. Perfect over here with all his individuality and all his star power and all his charisma. You don't just put a red or blue shirt on them and have them run out there like some nobody. Hey, stupid promotions. These wrestlers put their bodies on the line and literally sweat their ass off for you. Don't bunch them up into these groups of nobodies. Nexus. Let them individually shine. I don't want red or blue. I want Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon. I want Austin Aries, Frankie Kazarian. I want individuals. I want the next big stars. Everything the WWE is doing is wrong. You want me to talk about it. You want me to talk about how shitty Capital Punishment was. You want me to talk about Christian's 2-day title reign. But why bother? You're already probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking. The belts are worth nothing. It used to be that when you won the world title, you felt like a true main eventer. Austin, Hogan, Angle. Now you got guys like Sheamus and Christian winning it, and they still feel like mid-carders. The belts are worth nothing. And when the belts are worth nothing, it makes you wonder why the wrestlers are even chasing it. And if you wonder why the wrestlers are even chasing it, you wonder why they're even wrestling, and the whole kayfabe falls apart. Adding to the train wreck, the early announcement of Rock vs. Cena has rendered this entire wrestling cycle pointless filler. Even if you're excited about Rock vs. Cena, it must have felt a little weird that they announced it so damn early. Because it defies common sense. Number one, you announce a match too early, the hype is gonna wear thin. Yes, even for The Rock. In movies and everything, they time the promotion such that the hype is at its exact highest point when the movie comes out. It's common sense. You announce it too late, there's not enough time to build up, but if you announce it too early, it's going to wear thin. It has to be the exact right timing, and that's what the road to WrestleMania is for. It's tried and true. It's the proven way. Number two, there's still the small issue that in between WrestleMania 27 and Rock vs. Cena at WrestleMania 28, you still have to go through every other pay-per-view. By setting the dream match so far in advance, you're undermining all the other shows. I mean, how can you announce Rock vs. Cena, but then at the next pay-per-view give us Cena vs. Miz vs. Morrison? You know, SummerSlam is going to have this huge shadow looming over it because there's no way its main event can possibly be as big. Number three, The Rock vs. Cena undermines the entire roster. You talk about your youth movements? You talk about me living in the past? Well, what about this shadow of The Rock? From WrestleMania 27 all the way to WrestleMania 28. A shadow that looms large as John Morrison tries to be a main eventer at Extreme Rules, and R-Truth tries to be a main eventer at Capital Punishment. A shadow that has rendered them completely pointless filler. The roster has been completely undermined, and the pay-per-views have been completely undermined. You know how a music CD has like 16 songs, but only 2 of them are any good and the rest is useless filler? Well, that's what the wrestling industry is right now. Everything in wrestling between now and Rock vs. Cena is just going to be useless, pointless filler. Something the Cena era has been depressingly filled with. I mean, what was the point of Khali vs. Cena? What was the point of Bobby Lashley versus Cena? I mean, come on. Those guys were never going to win the spinning belt. They were there just there to kill time, to be pointless filler. The R-Truth just fought Cena at Capital Punishment, but already I don't see anybody talking about it anymore because it was filler and now it's over. So, why would the WWE pre-render an entire pay-per-view cycle as useless filler? In my opinion, it's for the same reason they moved up the draft. Desperation. They have no stars and they know it. So they're going to announce this dream match super early, then have The Rock make all these sporadic, part-time appearances to make him look like a member of the active roster. And you say I'm living in the past? How can you say I'm living in the past and then support the prolonged buildup of a part-time Attitude Era star that undermines the young roster? Are you stupid? As much as I like the guy, John Morrison was nothing but filler. R-Truth, was nothing but filler. And this whole CM Punk thing going on right now is nothing but filler. So CM Punk comes out and says how we feel. Who cares? We already said it. Saying the problem's is not the same thing as solving it. It's like a politician that comes out and says, hey, guess what? Gas prices are high. No shit, asshole! Now what are you gonna do about it? It doesn't mean anything if you don't plan on doing anything about it. And this filler is especially infuriating to me because it toys with our true emotions. The WWE has basically taken how many of us feel and turned it into a short-term filler storyline. CM Punk's promo doesn't actually represent anything. It doesn't actually represent a true reform of the wrestling product, which is what we want. All it is more filler, more Great Khali, Bobby Lashley filler to waste our time until Rock vs. Cena. By WrestleMania 28, we're not even going to be talking about this anymore. Like, I can almost imagine the WWE meeting room. Like, all the people are probably sitting around talking about, hey, what are you doing here? Hey, look, guys, it's Generation Me. What are you doing here? Hey, Boris Bauer, in your last video, you said some things, and first of all, we do not look like a couple of Cabbage Patch Kids. And second of all, the nerds are right. I am the future of the DNA. You see, in the tradition of the Hardy Boys and the Rockers, we're gonna break up eventually, and as the blonde one, look for me to be heavyweight champion really soon. 2 of you probably don't make a heavyweight. Yo, what you trying to say, man? Hey, get out of here! I'm gonna criticize the shit out of the X Division in my next video. Stupid dancing Cabbage Patch Kids. Where was I? Oh yeah, WWE. I can almost imagine the WWE meeting room. They're looking at their pathetic buy rates and all these fans of theirs going to UFC when one simpleton stands up and is like, hey, I know. Why don't we take CM Punk, who's one of their favorites, and have him go out there and run through a carefully worded promo that name drops Brock Lesnar and Ring of Honor. That ought to hold them through the next pay-per-view. At least the dumb ones. Hey, WWE, look! We're not the dumb, gullible kiddies you keep leading around with this Cena crap. We recognize bullshit. You don't announce The Rock vs. Cena at WrestleMania 28, then have us buy into Morrison, R-Truth, and CM Punk in the meantime. We don't want you to repeat our complaints. We want you to solve them. A true commitment to revitalize and improve the wrestling product. Not to take some of what we said and turn it into a short-term filler storyline. We know the difference. As Scott Hall said at the Great American Bash 1996, you don't jack us around. All we want is true product reform, a true improvement of the wrestling product. That's all we want. You hear us, WWE?